You serious?
There are plenty of ways to kill an hour out there. Right now, you're killing some time with him, Nicholas Bright.
And that guy over there is Marcus Bronzy.
Now, Nick, needs must, right?
Go on.
And sometimes I need my sustenance, yeah? I need food. Is it a liberty if I consume food during this episode? Should I just be raggo out there, like, eat the food loud on mic? Or do I try and pretend like when you're at school trying to eat a packet of crisps and you don't want the teacher to, like, hear you? So your teacher's, like, doing the talk and you're like that. And they turn around, you go...
The crisp was always in my blazer pocket as well, because we used to have to wear a blazer at my school. And then it was like, in the blazer pocket, I'd always be like... It was also because you didn't want to share them with your friends.
Yeah, that is what. Yeah, the sharing with your friends in crisp. There's two type of people with crisp at school. There's two types of people, but I think that crisp situation, trying to sneak crisps away in school, was probably the closest you ever got to real life Mission Impossible as a teenager.
Skill. Yeah, it's mad hard. It's like when you're in the cinema and then a super quiet bit comes on, like, but it's really loud at first and you're rustling around in your sweet packet, like, but it's fine because it's mad loud. Then all of a sudden it goes really quiet and you're still like, sorry. Like, some people are just raggo in the cinema though. Some people, like, they will just chat. You'll be like in there and it's like on a quiet bit and then you'll just hear them like, yeah, so what's happening now? Is this fit? They don't even try to whisper. I'm like,
look at that over there.
You're like, what are you not playing at?
Yeah, exactly. So what have you got on your plate today? Oh, sorry, by the way, welcome to How to Kill an Hour.
Yeah.
There's plenty of ways to kill some time out there. One of them is listening to us discussing how we consume our food. Nick, what have you got on your what do we call it, on the menu for you today, Nick?
Mine's dead, man. I got a sugar-free blackcurrant juice drink.
Okay.
AKA Ribena. I mean, if they want to send some free ones here, then that's fine.
Stranger things have happened.
I've got some fruit, strawberries, blackberries, grapes, and blueberries.
Right.
I feel like grapes are the odd ones out in there.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? They're not berries out here. Like, it's a bit unfair.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
They've just been piled in there with the strawberries, the blueberries, and the blackberries, and it's beef.
Is a grape a grape a fruit?
It is a fruit.
So, it's just not a berry. What's the difference? What makes a berry and what makes a fruit a fruit?
I'm not a gardener. I don't know.
I'll find that out for you.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Because I know that tomato's a fruit because it's got seeds on the inside. It's not a veg.
Well, I don't know. I've got them right here.
So you've got a strawberry. What is a strawberry if the seeds are on the outside? It's something to do with where the seeds are on it. Please let us know at How to Kill an Hour on Twitter while we get on with
eating
what we usually do. And what's that to your left and my right?
That's a cinnamon swirl.
Cinnamon swirl.
Yeah. I'm just eating raggo. You got me eating now.
So what is this, because we know that Nick is undertaking an athletic situation, which, you know what, I want to ask you, I want to get a proper update on maybe in the next episode, because I feel like I'm a bit eager to talk about what we've recently killed some time doing.
Yeah, it was sick.
And I'm eating a sandwich, by the way. Nick, what did we do the other day that was absolutely sick?
So you know how on How to Kill an Hour we love doing like escape rooms. We must have done, I reckon, like, because there's people that go around the world doing these escape rooms. I reckon we're up there with these people. The amount of escape rooms we've done.
Yeah, there's people who actually, when they go to a new town, it's like there are couples or groups of people that, you know, certain people go to the museum, certain people go to the parks for a walk, and then there are escape artists. They escape these escape rooms, they solve mysteries.
And the thing is, they're sick as well. They always do it in, like, when you talk to the people that run the escape rooms, they're like, yeah, we get people coming from like all over the world who just do this stuff. They normally get out in about 20 minutes. And it's like, what? 20 minutes? Who are these people? Is it Richard O'Brien from the Crystal Maze? Does he go and do them?
Him. Or Tom Cruise.
Yeah, Tom Cruise.
Or who else? Batman is pretty good at
James Bond might roll to one.
James Bond would be great in one of those.
You know, Jack Bauer.
Jack Bauer's smash it. What's
Jason
the other one?
Bourne.
Jason Bourne. That's
all
it.
the JBs.
All the JBs. I've finished my run of 24, the classic 24, and I'm about to move on to the new version featuring Ashley Thomas, a.k.a. Bashy, one of our UK grime artists, a.k.a. actors.
He's from this area, and he's like from around the corner.
He's I don't know exactly where he's from in the area that we do How to Kill an Hour, but put it like this: if you were to come out of here when he's in town, walk up and down the road a couple of times, you probably bump into him. Yeah, but you bump into a lot of like celebrities around here.
Yeah, famous people around here. It's it's quite an affluent area in London. It's where Marcus lives, by the way, not me. I live mad far from here.
And do you know what's mad? No one bumps into me around here. What's going on? I'm walking up and down the strip. No one goes, "Hey, there's Marcus. Hey,
autograph. An hour." It's because I ain't heard you speak. You know,
that's probably why.
Podcast, innit?
That's probably why. But yeah, escape rooms. So people travel all over the world doing escape rooms, and like you said, Nick, rightly so. I feel like we're starting to flex our muscles.
Mm-hmm.
We're finding out. I think we're more like, you know, like when people are in the army. I'm not dissing the army, but people go into the army and they're soldiers, and then there are like tactical teams. I feel like we're moving into the echelon of tactical team when it comes to these.
You feel like we're moving up from infantry to SAS or something? Is that what you're saying? Paras.
Oh wow, that's like top level, isn't it? That's like
I think SAS is like the top level, isn't it?
What's level up from like regular, you know, still well respected. Don't want to diss our armed forces. Very likely they're going to be getting busy soon. Looking at the news. What's a level up from like normal army? Special?
I don't. It's just the army's the army, innit? And then there's different regiments. That's how it works. I was in the army cadets, innit?
Okay, all right.
It's like there's different regiments. So it's like when I was in the army cadets, I was in the Royal Green Jackets, and their specialty is camouflage. So it's like it's like even you know the stripes that soldiers wear on their arms to say what rank they are.
Mm-hmm.
Even though in the Royal Green Jackets, even those are green, whereas like if you are in the Royal Tank Regiment, the stripes would be white. Or if you're in the Royal Signals, basically the Royal Green Jackets have green stripes and everyone else has white stripes.
Okay, so because I had no idea about it. So it's the regiment you're in.
Yeah, they all
specializes in different things.
Yeah. So the Royal Signals is obviously communication. Yeah. This ain't an army podcast, and I'm no army expert here, so there's probably holes in my story. But the Royal Tank Regiment, it's obvious what they do. Drive tanks,
yeah.
Royal Green Jackets. There's the Grenadier Guards.
What's that? What do they do?
I think they guard shit.
Okay.
And then there's the Fusiliers. Now the Fusiliers, they are the ones who have the feathers in their berets.
Yeah.
The red and white feathers in their berets, and they're the band.
Okay, so they're the ones that kind of keep military morale up.
Yeah. There's loads of regiments, right. Infantry's a well-respected one because that's foot soldiers. Okay. They're the ones that are like on the front line and shit.
All right. I had no idea. Now I understand. I really just thought you used to have different regiments or different coloured stuff so that everyone could tell each other apart, like from afar. Like, oh, there's my mate. Like, where's my mates? Oh, they're all dressed like you. They're over there, mate. Like that sort of thing.
There's more respected parts of the army. Like I said, SAS is big.
Yeah.
Paras is big. But they're just regiments.
Do they parachute? Do they parachute?
Yeah, paratroopers are, it's just a regiment. Right. But like you have to be hard to get into it. But I think SAS is like a bit different. I'm not sure how and why, but
I met an SAS guy once. I just knew it was very special what he did. They do stuff that we never find out about.
Yeah.
I guess that sort of stuff that never.
It's crazy.
Yeah, like we just never find out about what they do.
And you got to be mad fit. I think the US equivalent is Navy SEALs. I think that's the I don't know. That's the like US equivalent.
Okay, cool. So we're like, what are we then? What are we? We're like a regiment then in escape roomistness. What are we called? The escapists?
I reckon we should do it more. We are taking this into an army level podcast here. Just for an anecdote. This is like, what mad.
You just tell us about the fucking escape room.
So
did you get out or not?
Basically, I reckon we should be more like ranks because you know when you go into the army. Yeah. You're just you go in as a non-ranked soldier.
Yeah.
I can't remember what they're called. You go in private?
As
a
private.
That's in America. You go in as a recruit.
Okay.
And then you become a can't remember what they're called. Anyway, the first one that you get to is Lance Corporal, then Corporal, then Sergeant, then Staff Sergeant or Colour Sergeant, depending on what regiment you're in.
Okay.
And then after that, that's when it starts getting mad confusing. I don't know the layers after that. You know, like Captain, Major, Colonel, Lieutenant, blah 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 blah. I reckon we're at like officer level, which means we're like captains or majors around that rank.
Okay, so
we're no longer soldiers anymore. We're officers.
So you're Captain Nick.
I can be a captain or a major.
Captain Bright. That sounds.
Major's above captain, I think.
Major Bright.
Major.
I'm Major Bright here. So escape room. So
away from the army, let's get back, considering none of us have been in the army here.
Let's digress. And by the way, sorry, it's crisps. But so we went to something called Handmade Mysteries. Now, they're a form of escape room. They call themselves twisted escape rooms. And the one that we went to was called Lady Chastity's Reserve, currently at the Park Tavern in East London. Can we just say, Nick, talk about that pub? Because I was really impressed when I went into that pub.
So it's in an area called Hackney, which is it's rapidly becoming more and more and more trendy to live there. It's actually opposite Victoria Park, which is where a festival called Lovebox happens in London every year. But I've never been to this pub before, but it's big. It's a big pub, like on the kind of on a corner, innit? Like so, massive pub, and it's really cool. It's got loads of stuff in there. It's not like just a regular pub, you know, where you go in there and it's just a bar and a couple of tellies with some old man watching horse racing. Yeah. Like, it's not even that. It's like you go in there, there's a microbrewery in there, so they brew their own beer in there. There's like loads of board games and shit that you can get from behind the bar. There is a photo booth in the corner. There's pinball machines. There's a billiards table. And then out the back, there's this humongous like beer garden with bare seats. And like, it was a hot day when we went as well, so the beer garden was rammed, and there's crazy golf in there. There's even like another outside bar bit out there. It's ridiculous.
A massive pub, and it was a good day. It looked like everyone was enjoying it. I want to go back there and play crazy golf, actually.
Yeah, it was just at the back of the beer garden.
Well, man. But inside the pub, we were playing Lady Chastity's Reserve. I'll give you the lowdown of the story of the website. It's an immersive experience challenge for you and your friends. It's an hour of hilarious clue solving, which you attempt to win Lady Chastity's fabled aphrodisiac wine. Win and wet your whistle, or fail and wet your pants. To which, when I read that, I was like, oh yeah, escape room. Suppose it'll be all right. It's going to be in a pub though, so there's only really so much they can do to the place to make it look unpubby. It's going to be in some little room in the corner of the pub. It'll be all right, maybe a laugh. You know, me and Nick will get into it. But I wasn't expecting the level of set design that we saw, because we first of all had to meet a gentleman called Gabriel at the end of a bar, and signal to him that we were the right people, which is great because it's good to get immersed. I like the kind of immersion where some of it happens in the real world, like when we did the one where we were running around London, Leicester Square. It was nice because it was real immersion. It was immersing you, but still within the real world. Yeah. So we're in a real pub and we go and meet someone and they're like, oh yeah, just come over here. The thing is, it was the difference between, I guess, the one where we the secret agent one where we were running around in Leicester Square and all of that, and this is, although it was quite obvious who the person was in Leicester Square because, you know, you got a description of what they looked like and blah blah blah. It wasn't that obvious. Like, you could end up speaking to the wrong person because there's lots of people in Leicester Square. Whereas in the pub, it was pretty obvious who Gabriel was. Yeah. Unless, then again, it's in East London, do you know what I mean? The fashion sense in them areas there, like, you know, you might get someone turning up in like, I don't know, dress from the 50s. Yeah, dress for the 50s and the world's most skinniest extra medium jeans. Yeah, you never know. Yeah. You never. But we took a punt and assumed that was Gabriel, and it was. We were right. All right. From then on, we started the game, and it, like I said, the set design, we stepped into this room and I was like, oh shit. It was smoky, man, when we went in there. They obviously got, you know, smoke and stuff, this going on in there. But that was my first reaction. And I was a little bit shook as well when we went in there because I was like, it was quite loud. There's a soundtrack that plays throughout, you know, and it's quite loud, the soundtrack. And whenever there's like really loud stuff like that happening, like I always feel like they're trying to distract you from like hearing someone fucking jumping out on you or something. Yeah. I'm always like, I don't trust this shit. Yeah. Like, I'm going to be standing somewhere and then someone's going to like grab me on the shoulder or something. Especially because there's a particular part of the set where he was like, you don't need to touch those bits there. It's for your safety or whatever. Don't pull those out or move those. And it was like a screen thing. And I was like, are people going to like come in to behind that screen or something and like try and jump out on us? Because I don't know. There was no reason for him to say don't touch those screens because I think they were really good at setting the tone to put us on edge. Like I was on edge. I was like standing there waiting for shit to happen. There was one point where you lot were like, "Oh, Nick,
go into that bit over there, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, no, I was like, no, just wait here. It's cool.
You know, you actually said, you went, what's in there?
Yeah.
And we went, yeah, just go in there. We're gonna help you decipher a part of the code, but one of us needs to be in a certain part of it.
And the other part
needs
ain't going to be me.
And Nick's like, yeah, but what's in there though? And I was like, no, honestly, it's fine. And Nick's like, yeah, but what's actually inside at this moment in time? And
then Dan the man just stepped in.
Dan, the legend of a man that we call Dan that rolls with us to some of these events. He jumped in and did what he needed to do. But story-wise, I mean, they promised to make it a little bit scary. They promised to make it kind of funny and wacky. I felt like it ticked those boxes. It was there were funny bits in there. There were like jokey bits. It wasn't boring at any point. No point was I like, oh come on, man. Like it was a nice pace. Like, you know,
yeah, it was quite hard as well. I thought
very hard. And you know, I think we overthought it. I mean, being majors and captains, sometimes, you know, we struggle to bring ourselves back to basic levels of escape roomism.
Yeah.
So we may have overlooked something.
We were basically
quite obvious.
Basically, we were solving stuff that wasn't meant to be solved yet, because the first thing we were meant to solve, we hadn't solved.
Yeah. Like it was like one of those hints, like, oh yeah, look, that door's a bit open. Why don't you try that out? And we were like, yeah, fuck the door. Let's go raid the cupboards.
Yeah.
It was like
it was so stupid when you think about it. We basically, without giving anything away, we had everything in place that we needed to have in place for the final part of the game.
Yeah.
But we hadn't worked out the very first thing that you need to work out.
Yeah.
So we were just like, we were scratching our heads like, what the fuck do we have to do now?
Yeah.
We've kind of raided everywhere, unless there's like a mad secret place that none of us can find. We've like ripped everything off the wall, had a look at inside everything. We were just baffed.
It was interesting because we sort of half deciphered codes, but we didn't know where they needed to go. And then once we took a step back and did the first part, we were like, because it's quite interesting. We didn't actually get past the first part until about half an hour into the game.
Yeah.
We were halfway through the game.
And then ridiculous.
The last 10 minutes, 15 minutes are spent with us just putting everything into place. But in terms of challenge, though, you hit a good point, Nick. Like, I think it wasn't too hard. Well, there's one bit that was really fucking hard. Dan just smashed it. He's just super got it at the end. But like, other than that, I felt like it was hard. But you know, you get a few helps if you need as well. You get up to 3 helps from Brother Gabriel. But I really liked it, man. It was like a good level of hardness, a lot of banter in it as well.
Yeah, it wasn't easy, but it wasn't like impossibly difficult.
Yeah.
At the same time, but I feel like they've realised that they're in a pub, and a lot of people that might be playing it could have had a few beers before playing it. Like, obviously, you're not allowed to be tanked up and going in.
Wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah, for health and safety reasons, more so than anything else. But like, you can tell that it's like they're not going to make it too hard, because if you're a bit tipsy, you'll be like, what the fuck is going on? Like, you wouldn't know what you're doing. So like, they gotta like find a happy medium, innit?
Yeah, definitely. And there's certain things that you need to have a keen ear for. Like, I would say when you do try this, listen to the audio prompts. They really freaking helped.
Yeah.
And I think one thing that we never used to be good at was listening to each other, because there might be too many of us going, or we'd all just be doing our own thing, or listening to some of the audio prompts. But I've noticed that when you do these escape room things, all your senses really have to be on point. You know, make sure that you can see everything as best you can. Nick Bright was wielding about 6 torches at once, which I say is a skill set I didn't know he had. Nick Bright was holding 6 torches, no joke.
I had too many torches. It was crazy.
He was torch rich. So you got to listen and stuff, and I felt like, and also I felt like communication. We were just communicating so well. It was like, oh yeah, I found this. Oh yeah, I've got this. What are you doing? And I think you can have 2 to 6 people, they say, in the game, or up to 6, but you don't really want to play it by yourself, because
I mean, it'd be a bit boring if you're by yourself as well.
But I enjoyed a good number, 3 of us. I think 4 would be good. I don't always recommend the highest number. I think it's fun, but if you like if you're in a group of 6, I'd say roll in pairs, like roll together, because if 6 of us are doing the same thing at once, or different things at once, it can be so hard to collate all the information.
Yeah, the thing is, even if there is 6 of you and you roll in pairs, though, it's still quite hard, because, you know, there's certain things that you were solving that led on to like other things, and it's like, I don't know, I feel like if you're in there, if there's too many cooks, man, the broth is going to be spoilt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I reckon if there's 6 of you, I almost feel like you should split it. Group of 3 and a group of 3.
you know what? I think 3's a good number. We've had our most success with 3, but
it's the magic number, mate. According to De La Soul.
Oh yeah, one of my favourite tunes. 3 is the magic number. But
1, 2, 3. Look at 3.
Anyway, yeah, I had a good one. I had a really, really good time there. Great bit of great bit of escape roomism. Did we get the wine? Hell to the yes. Actually, I didn't take it. Dan took it home, didn't he? How was the wine? Did it taste good? Lady Chastity's aphrodisiac wine. Did he get to use it on a unsuspecting lady? Pour her a glass of Avery Dizzle.
Unfortunately, he didn't get to use it because what happened is me and you headed off in the How to Kill an Hour wagon.
Yeah.
Whoops. Yeah. And then me and him went to the train station. We went separate ways at the train station. Then 5 minutes later, he messaged me saying that wine didn't last long. And I was like, what? You drunk it already? Like thinking that he just downed it out the bottle like some kind of alcoholic.
Yeah.
And then he's like, no, I dropped it.
Oh, for fuck's sake, Dan.
So he dropped it and smashed it.
Oh, Dan.
So he's great at escape rooms, but shit at holding on to stuff.
I felt like because he was so good at the escape room, he'd have he'd be a safe set of hands to take that wine home,
Butterfingers,
chill it to the lower of room temperatures because it was a red.
He's always, because I've known Dan. Dan's one of my childhood friends.
Yeah,
and he's always been mad clumsy. Like he's just one of those clumsy dudes.
Nice guy though. Yeah.
One time we were messing around doing stuff. You know when you're young and you're just doing shit. I think we were like shouting out the window at people that were going past and then hiding. Yeah. You know the kind of stupid shit you used to do when you're younger.
Oi, fatty!
Yeah, and then like hide. And then like he was pissing himself one time, laughing. Like we shouted at someone and like a couple of times and they were like, didn't know where it was coming from. And he was like hiding whilst laughing. And then he was laughing and you know your body's like moving when you're laughing. He like smashed his head on the radiator and he started bleeding. That's the kind of clumsy guy he is. So dropping the bottle of wine and smashing it everywhere doesn't surprise me.
So you like classic Dan?
Yeah. I'd love to have been there when it happened as well because like I bet everybody at the train station was like, the fuck is going on? Like there's wine everywhere. Wine and glass all over the place.
He probably looked like a pisshead, didn't he?
Yeah.
You were like, oh, for fuck's sake, drinking on public transport.
Bet it went all over his shoes and everything. Nightmare, mate.
Well, we can only presume. We can't really give you a full feedback on the flavour and taste of the wine.
I'm sure it was delicious.
Aphrodisiac wine. But yeah, no. In short, I really liked it. The price point on it is I think it varies regarding on how many people are going. So it's about £20 to £25 or £23 sometimes. And in this day and age where that ain't gonna get you 2 cinema tickets. I think that's good. Or that ain't going to get you 1 cinema ticket, a drink, and a bit of food. I'd put that above cinema in terms of...
Is that the total price?
No, it's per person. Per person. But I feel like you'd easily do more than 20 quid a head at the cinema.
Yeah. Depends on where you go. If you go in West End, central London, I used to work in at Odeon in West End when I was at uni. Like, that shit is mad expensive. 25 quid in that. And then you go and get Pick a Mix, and it's like the Pick a Mix costs more than a cinema ticket.
I saw a Vice short documentary on Facebook, and it was just about the cost of things, and it's 50 quid for the cinema it cost. A guy when he just went to his local cinema.
And then, you know what makes me laugh? I don't know, getting off subject slightly, but what makes me laugh is when people go, we can't let the cinema die. It's a tradition. It needs to survive. Fam, make it cheaper. You do realise that most people can get the movies now like on Kodi or whatever for nothing.
What's
right?
Kodi?
Wait, what's Kodi?
I ain't even heard of that.
XBMC.
What? Huh? What are you saying all these words?
Most people can stream it illegally from different places. Yeah. And like, you know, you're combating that. The people that you're trying to attract, they don't give a shit whether it's on a camera or whether they're getting a HD quality half the time. So like, fam, make it cheaper. Because I like going to the cinema. I'm not going to lie. I'm not slating the cinema here. I like it. I think it's good. But like, the dough that it costs, boy. Anyway, back to the escape room.
Make it more affordable. No, you're rightly so. I mean, I had more fun doing that than I would have gone cinema with you guys. Because we would have all gone into cinema, sat down, watched the film, and gone afterwards. Oh yeah, that was good. Or that wasn't good. It's
crazy, isn't it? Because the cinema is one of the most antisocial places that you can go to. But like, lots of people always go on dates there.
Wicked, great idea for a date.
Let's go on a date. Yeah. Take this new bird to the cinema, and then it's like you sit there in silence for an hour and a half, and then afterwards you're like, what did you think of that then? Yeah, it was all right. Yeah, like, it's mad, isn't it? Like,
I think it's guys that are trying to get the pussy quicker. That's what it is, because if you are with somebody and you've gone on 7 dates and 3 of those are the cinema, you've now gone on 7 dates.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you get with someone after 7 dates, everyone's like, oh, that was a reasonable amount of dates. Whereas if it was 4 dates, people might be like,
yeah, but it's the 3-date rule though, bruv. Everyone knows the 3-date rule. It's like if it's a 3rd date, that's when it's on.
Okay, is that what it is?
That's what people say. Yeah, first date it's like obviously don't give it up on the first date because no one wants to think you're a slag. Yeah. Second date, keep him keen. You know what I mean? Still don't give it up, but you know, give him a bit more. So you might like give him a kiss, more of a kiss. Like,
so kiss is second date, yeah.
Well, you might kiss on the first date as well. I'm not disputing that, but you give him a bit more on the second, as in like show more interest.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Show more interest on the second,
right.
maybe more than a kiss just at the end. Because on the first date, half the time the kiss is just at the end. Then it's like see you later. Like second date, kiss at the start, a few kisses in the middle, kiss at the end.
Really?
Third date, that's when it's on. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what? I can't lie. I'm ignorant to that.
Google
I've
it,
never
man.
heard of that rule. No, I trust you, Nick.
3-date rule.
I trust you. I'm just like certain things that you miss growing up in life, and I've missed out on that one. The 3-date rule. So if you did 2 cinemas and a bit of food, you're smashing after the 3rd date, or on the 3rd. Is it on the 3rd or after?
On the 3rd, man. It's legally binding. That's contractual.
I did not know that. Thank you. By the way, you can find links to Lady Chastity's Reserve. As well as that, Handmade Mysteries have got a few spots all over London. We found out under quite interesting circumstances, checking out the website. But yeah, we know there's loads of other places over London. And to be fair, after trying that out, I wouldn't mind trying another one of their joints. So check them out. It's handmademysteries.com. And yeah, like I said, we'll put links to everything you need in the show description. This has been How to Kill an Hour. He's been Nick Bright.
That guy's been Marcus Bronzy.
Plenty of ways to kill some time out there. Thank you for killing some time with us.